Tuesday after a 3-8 start to the season. And this decision was announced by team governor Patrick Dumont and came 9 months after Harrison traded superstar Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Street Clothes Davis. What are your thoughts on this firing and the Mavs organization in general, my guy? I'm gonna leave it to you.
There's some silly niggas. That's the best part of my language. That is the best way to describe this entire situation because one, whether it was Nico's idea or not, you know he ran it by ownership. You know that because that's just how it works, but also ownership at the time was also trying to shit on Luca and say like, yeah, like there's a reason we made this trade, whatever, whatever. Um, so I like there's one standpoint where I get firing him right now because your
All guy
fan
type
base,
shit.
huh?
All guy type shit.
Yeah, like your fan base hates you right now. So, and the main thing that they're all saying is fire him, fire him, fire him. So I get from a standpoint of like trying to just placate your fans doing that. But from a real organizational standpoint, if you all signed up for off on this and Anthony Davis hasn't been healthy and Kyrie is out, you needed it just would have made more sense to give him a little bit more leeway. And this is the next season after you made that trade, see how things actually get to shape out after the first 10 games. Like it's plenty of teams. What was it? The Lakers was had a really shitty start a couple years ago, still ended up making the playoffs. Like a bad start can turn around, especially if your players end up coming back. So I think it's really just malpractice, organizational malpractice all the way around with like every decision they've made. This was a terrible trade from the first place. But at least if you're trading Luka Doncic, you should be getting back. You sent me a screenshot earlier today of the haul that the Wizards got for Bradley Beal. They got like 6 first-round picks. You traded Luka and you got one? That's insane. That to me is like I could stomach the trade if it's like, okay, you traded him for a boatload of stuff. But you didn't. So it's like from the day it happened, it was an awful trade. Now a year later, it's an awful trade, and it's gonna go down as one of the worst trades in NBA history. Um, so I think it's just kind of, a culmination of like cementing that this was all terrible and everyone involved in this was terrible, and now your franchise is paying the price. Luckily, I think Cooper Flag will at least end up being good down the line, but he's not an impact rookie right now. He's not going to be leading you to the playoffs. Um, so yeah, it's just sucks. I feel bad for Mavs fans. I really do. Like I couldn't imagine if and Cade hasn't even taken us to a finals, and I couldn't imagine if they traded Cade. Luca just took them to the finals 2 years
Oh,
ago.
took them to the finals. Wait, no, that was yeah, 2 years ago, but like took them to the final. Like they were coming off of that finals run, and then you trade them before the deadline like that. That's kind of ridiculous. And like you said, you don't get that much assets back. And then when you trade him, you say compete now. But obviously, like when he's healthy, he's great, Anthony Davis. But and he's been healthy past like 2.5 seasons. But historically speaking, like you can't really depend on that guy. So that was just kind of mind-boggling with me. And I personally do think he was a fall guy, like you said. Like even though he's a GM, when it comes down to it, when the owner wants something done, they gonna get that joint done. And like you said, he's basically middleman back and forth with all these things getting leaked and all that about Luka and whatnot. And I think in the grand scheme of things, I think their plan is still to have an NBA team and relocate to Las Vegas. I think that's what's going to happen as well too. Do I think Harrison's going to get another opportunity? I don't really know, because you did have some good, you did have some bad. You were a part of that catalyst, to even get them to the finals back when they acquired those when they drafted Derek Lively. They got PJ Washington, they got Gafford, took a risk on Kyrie. So he has some good in it, but this one's just kind of mind-boggling as well too. Like you said, Kyrie, we don't even know if he's coming back this season. And it seems like when one big's out, with Lively and when Lively's out, Gafford's good. When Gafford's good, Lively's out and 80 out too. So it's really kind of hard to gauge this team. But like you said, the show must go on. And what else sucks about it is I remember last year, right when they made that trade, they made an announcement saying going into the 25-26 season, ticket prices are going to go up. So you are 3-8. You got rid of Luca. You fire Nico, 89 even playing. You're not gonna see Kyrie. They already talking about trading Klay Thompson, and you still gotta pay those high prices. That's nasty work right there. So, Mavs
And
fans, go ahead.
the thing that never equated to me is you're raising these prices. Like Anthony Davis is not box office. He's not. He wasn't when he was in New Orleans, they weren't like, oh, we didn't sold out all these. No, he's not. People aren't like, yeah, I'm trying to see Anthony Davis this weekend. It's just not, he's a great player. Clearly he's a top 75 player, but he's not like people are selling out to go see him. And that's not going to be the case. Wasn't the case when he was the star player somewhere else. It's definitely not going to be the case now that he's past 30 and maybe still in his prime. I don't know, but yeah, I think that was also crazy. Like you got rid of a guy who was he's Luca to me is like Steph, LeBron, and KD. Like those are guys who can sell out a stadium. People want to come just to see them play, and you got rid of that for a guy who doesn't even play.